So welcome to our next lesson. This is on Italian Americans. As you can see from the title, and this is a further part of our Catholic immigrants. Western European Catholic immigrants came to the country in the 1800s to the early 1900s. Italians came mostly after the Civil War, and the biggest wave pretty much ended in the early 1920s. So here in Enclave in as Little Italy. This is a color photo from 1800, and most, if not all, the people in this photograph are Italian, and you can see they are very crowded, and you can see all kinds of merchants and everything, and that's sort of the Italian stereotype today. That's part of the stereotype many people today understands, but it hasn't always been like that. One of the most controversial things to happen with Americans was the March 14th, 1891 liberal. Long story short, there was a person named David Hay, and just to tie that back into our previous lesson on the Irish Americans, the Irish found for themselves in law enforcement and in safety. They became firemen, police officers, things like that. And see, it's an Irish name. But the Italians were accused of killing this police officer, and in reality, there was an Italian group who did kill the police officer, but the kind of New Orleans was ordered to round up Italian Americans as possible, incarcerate them, put them in jail. Their sentence would be determined later after they were arrested and such. And a lot of these were not proven innocent until guilty, or they did not have that treatment. They were guilty until proven innocent, I guess. And somewhere between 45 to 200 Italian Americans were rounded up just on the basis of them being Italian. And 11 hanged. And it was reported in the news as a great victory for America. And here's a quote from the New York Times. Please want to pay more attention to this quote because there's going to be a quote of it. And it is the quote: "These sneaking and cowardly citizens, the descendants of bandits and assassins who have transported to this country lawless passions, cut practices, the oath society of their native country, are to us a mitigation. Our own rattlesnakes are as good citizens as they. Lynch law is the only course open to the people of New Orleans." A lot of people acted out of the law. A lot of people would have been publicly executed, most likely. But a lot of people took the law in their own hands. The oath-bound societies they're referring to is the mafia. And you see here in this magazine, there is an Italian, an androgynous Italian, but it could be a woman or a man. It's that not women are peaceful. In fact, to show that women were calm and soft and peaceful, and that while men were violent, but Italian women are violent. And she's wearing a label that says mafia. Times quote: "Now, only 2 days after the hanging, this one, 11, so then spread quickly. And general opinion of this was that it was a good thing. They were quite happy that this happened. Most Americans, including future President of the United States, Theodore Roosevelt." And myself later to quote him: "One day we dined Cameron's various doggo," which is a dog derogatory term for Italians. Many Chicago diplomats were present, all brought by the lynching of the Italians in Queens. Personally, I think it a rather gang. He was willing to admit prejudice and could argue racism, even though Italians are technically many people thought so. This is a future president that's speaking, and people thought that the bill was a act, and this day, March 14th, much more than Italy than the United States. This is we'd rather forget than remember, for obvious reasons. And the Italians are viewed negatively, obviously, and the United States at the Benjamin Harrison thought that they should make right by the Italians because, after all, there were several already in the country, and so the origin of Clay as National Day comes from this. Okay, so the lynch happened in 1991, and the first day Columbus celebrated as a national holiday was 1882. It's right here. They picture a photograph of the first Columbus Day celebration in Salem, Massachusetts. And Salem, Massachusetts is not too from Boston, and Boston is very well known for Italian America. They have Italian on there. They have Little Italy, very similar to the one in Manhattan, except for, I'd say, more wide. So if you ever go to Boston, make sure to visit the Italian Quarter there in the north end, and you'll see a Catholic church there, labeled Sacred Heart Italian Church. This is not a separate church from the rest of the Catholic religion. Just back then, parishes refused to accept non-ethnic. So if you were an Italian parish, you'd have Italians. If you're an Irish parish, you'd only have Irish, Polish, etc., etc. Of course, you can talk about the Columbus Day controversies today. I mean, against Native Americans and other troubled people. We're talking more than Native Americans in the future. But you know, we could see how the Italians have sort of stepped up in the world, because the ones, according to some people, who are discriminating other than being dated. And at some point, like I mentioned, New York became very Italian. I'm sure. I mean, I know certain that there are Italian majority towns in the New York area. This is another quote from the New York Times. I would say years after, after the lynching on March 14, 1991, and they're referring this term here, we already did. That's used today, but in a different context. There are spoilers in all of the work. They are artists, they are junkmen, and who dwell the rag pickers. There is a modern colony of Italians who might be termed criminal or keeping of Latins. Then referred to anybody who was speaking a language, so Spanish, Portuguese, Romanian, Italian, French, and other dialects that root from Latin. So we use the term American to refer to people who are from South America, Central America, and the Caribbean. But back then it was more widely used. So a differentiation between Italian and other white. Here are all sorts of stores, grocers, fruit aquariums, tailors, shoemakers, wine makers, musical instrument makers, notaries, lawyers, doctors, apothecaries, undertakers. By the way, all these notaries, lawyers, doctors, apothecaries, undertakers, even today, considered and highly successful occupation in the United States. When we need to go to a school and you get paid a high amount of money, there are bankers of the Italians that, among many other foreigners, except for in the sea. known fact, Germans and Italians, Northern Italians, invented the modern banking system. They came up with what's called the double entry of debit and credit, what you owe and what you pay, or what you get paid. And Italians brought that over to the United States. So use that at all sorts of walks of. But there were problems. People have heard of Sacco Vanzetti. I'm going to get into detail because this is about me rather than a history. Sacco and Nicola Sacco and Bartolomeo Vanzetti were anarchists, and they were accused of armed robbery, murder, and conspiracy against the United States, and they were electrocuted. And although they were anarchists, they were accused of several crimes, and crimes that they were sentenced the death penalty for were scapegoats. They were falsely accused, so they were electrocuted to death. People who they believe that's more or less factual as you can get. And during the time that Italians feel frustrated, that feel their progress with society, and around this time, film starts, and film says The Godfather by Francois, who's an American, Bronx Tale, who's by Robert De Niro, and as Paul Intieri, who also Italian, Good, who's directed by Martin Scorsese and stars Italians, Scorsese's Italian, and Sopranos, which is not a movie, it's a TV show. This was created by David, whose original last name was De Cesare, which is an Italian last name. He had it changed in order to feel accepted in society, American society. It's something that several Italians do, or their name butchered at Ellis Island in order to sound more and most, if not all, the cast in Italian, with the exception of one character who is American, but it's the only exception. And so, even though the Italians find themselves, many feel that this is controversial. Many feel that these movies, even though they're made by Italians almost entirely, are mocking culture and mocking and reducing them to a stereotype. Probably the foremost Italian American media productions. And what are they centered on? The mafia. They are also on the mafia. The God is the mafia movie. Bronx Tale shows the balance between the hard-working, paid Italian and the organized crime paid Italian. And the or Cologio is middle. This post and the Sopranos focuses on this very well, and that's some modern we're going to get today. And I put its video right here, and it shows two Italian Americans, and I said here living high, and you know, Italian Americans is certainly special. There are certainly people who are fresh to the boat, as people say. Now that would be a sensitive term, but I can't give another one. I apologize. Who are as Italian as anyone else who's in the, or they are American. There's a term I don't mean this in a direct way. I mean this as an example for our lesson. A wondered what WAP stands for without papers, and that was a short term against Italians in the day. And Wondered is quite boring. And, I think pieces wondered WAP is someone who's completely lost their happiness. And then there's Mean, which is probably most Italian American. But you need to watch these two videos as well. Study two quotes I put in the PowerPoint and answer the questions, which are on Google Classroom. In the post has this video and the slides. Okay, so using the resources, answer the Google questions, one paragraph each. Okay, there will be 3 questions on Google Classroom. Guys, I'll see you in the lesson. Bye-bye.